want to go right now to the Patriot Mobile Newsmaker line. Our good friend from the 14th Congressional District in Pennsylvania, Congressman Guy Reschenthaler. Congressman, happy Thanksgiving to you.
Todd, happy Thanksgiving to you too, and please, as always, just call me Guy.
Well, you're kind to say that, but you've earned the spot, Congressman, and I don't know, it kind of feels weird just to call you Guy, but I am curious, though, about Thanksgiving. You guys going to have the big spread this year?
We are. We're going to my mother's house. My brother came in from out of town with his wife and kids, and I have pheasants that are on the Traeger as we speak, wrapped in bacon that I shot on Monday. So I'm adding wild game to the menu come tomorrow.
Is that right? So yeah, we were talking in the Starnes household. We're smoking a pork butt to go with the turkey, but it's pheasants for you guys.
Yes. So we're gonna have the turkey, of course, and you got it because we're German. You got to have the red cabbage there, but I am adding the wild game, the pheasant. We did it last year. People loved it, and so we're going to incorporate it now as a new holiday tradition.
Love it. You got to love traditions, and especially new ones. Congressman, you have a great new article out saying there's a good reason to be thankful. Why is there a good reason to be thankful, sir?
Well, the reason to be thankful is that we can now stop the madness that we're seeing from the Democrats and the administration in particular. Remember, for the last 2 years, Todd, we've had one-party rule in Washington, D.C., and it's had a detrimental effect on everything from foreign policy to inflation to wages, you name it, chaos of the southern border, crime rates surging. At least now that we have control of the House, we'll be able to stop a lot of that agenda. So I'm very thankful that we're going to come back into power, that we're going to have Kevin McCarthy holding the gavel. And look, we can do a lot of oversight and investigation. I didn't talk about that heavily in the op-ed I wrote, but a lot of our focus is going to be on oversight and investigation. Mayorkas is going to have a reserved parking spot in the Capitol complex because we're going to call him in so much. Same with Hunter Biden, Fauci. I'd like to question Granholm as well to see what she's been doing at the Department of Energy. But that's what I'm thankful for heading into this Thanksgiving in terms of politics.
It's so important that the Republicans regain control of the House. There has to be investigations. We've got to get to the bottom of so many issues. And I do think I agree with you that this is a good reason to be thankful. And by the way, folks, we've got a link to the Congressman's column, which was in The Hill, over on our website. Congressman, when you look at January, there's going to be a lot of stuff that you guys have to address. What, in your mind, going in to the new Congress, what are the top issues that we need to be addressing?
Well, for in terms of oversight and investigation, one thing we got to look at is the southern border. I mean, we've had Mayorkas come in and tell House Republicans when he's testifying before us that the border is secure, that they have tactical control of the border. We know that's not the case, so we need to bring Mayorkas back in. We need to have subpoenas to see what's going on. We also need to see what is going on with Hunter Biden and that laptop. If we need to get a special prosecutor appointed, so be it, but we need to do something because remember, that story was suppressed. We were told by the intelligence community that was disinformation from the Russians. That was all nonsense. And big tech, the media, they suppressed that story, which led to Biden getting elected. So let's go back and get to the bottom of that. And then I'd also like to take a look at the CCD and get Fauci in and question him. I know he's retiring, but too bad, so sad. The Democrats have started a new standard where you can call folks in after they're out of office or they've left their administrative post. So we're going to call Fauci in ad nauseum, and he's going to have to talk about his relations with Big Pharma. He's going to have to talk about the decisions that he made early on with COVID that had zero rationale based on science. And he's got a lot of answering to do to us. So those are the top three. In terms of politics, I wish we could pass sweeping legislative reform. Realistically, we're not going to be able to do that because the Democrats still control the Senate, and we don't have a president that's going to sign off. We obviously don't have a veto-proof majority in either chamber. So we're going to have to be realistic and say, hey, we're going to go on offense when it comes to oversight and investigation. We're going to go on defense when it comes to stopping the radical agenda from Biden.
And Congressman, yesterday we saw Kevin McCarthy at the border vowing to literally hold hearings at the border. What's your take on McCarthy? Do you think he's going to be able to get to that 218-point vote number that he needs to be Speaker, or is there going to be somebody else in the wings?
Well, I think Kevin will become Speaker. I'm a big Kevin McCarthy supporter. He's a close friend. But what's so problematic, Todd, and what you should watch for in the weeks leading up to January 3rd when we take this vote is, we're not going to get somebody more conservative than Kevin McCarthy. He's not Boehner. He's not Paul Ryan. He's very conservative. So is Steve Scalise. And if the hardliners in the Freedom Caucus, and a lot of those guys are my friends too, but if they want to play this game of political chicken, what's going to happen is the Tuesday group, which is the moderate caucus in the Republican Party, they're going to join up with the Democrats, and they're going to nominate somebody that's viewed as a moderate Republican. So God forbid a Liz Cheney. You could get somebody that's a moderate Democrat, a Bill Richardson, a Joe Lieberman. I mean, the list goes on and on, because remember, you don't have to be in the House to be the Speaker. You just have to get the House of Representatives to elect you Speaker. So that's the dangerous game that the hardliners are playing. And I say you play silly games, win silly prizes. Let's just hope Liz Cheney isn't the silly prize that the Freedom Caucus wins come January 3rd.
No, and look, as far as Kevin McCarthy goes, I mean, he's on the record as saying he doesn't believe that Biden's done anything that would lead to impeachment. My question is, all these investigations that you're talking about, are those really going to be fruitful, or is it going to be, like it was in the past when Republicans had control? There was a lot of talk, but really nothing got done.
Well, so do I think the bar has been lowered that we can impeach Biden? Yes, I do, because the Democrats have now made impeachment a political tool, where if the party that controls Congress is opposite, or at least the House of Representatives is opposite of the party in the White House, impeachment is now front and center. I don't think that's right, but the Democrats have changed the rules. We'll play by those rules. I still agree with Kevin McCarthy that strategically it's a bad idea to impeach Biden. What's the point? Emboldening Kamala Harris to now she's running in 2024 from the presidency. That's not smart. Also, historically speaking, Americans tend to rally behind an impeached president. We saw that with Trump. His poll numbers were literally never higher than they were right after impeachment. We saw that with Clinton, and we've seen it historically as well. So the exception would be Nixon, but he left office too quickly with the threat of impeachment. So it would strategically be bad for us to do that. Yeah.
All right, Congressman, we're going to have to leave it there. We appreciate you coming on the program. Hope you and the family have a great Thanksgiving celebration.
You too, Todd. Happy Thanksgiving.